just a different way of speaking. People who stutter are normal. They are just like you or me, they just have trouble speaking to it. Is my concern for as long as I can remember, and but it is a part of me, and I'm going to have to try and accept it, and I'm going to be the best person I can be.
Hello, my name is CHASTEK, and I am here to let you know unusual facts about 3 big cats: lions, tigers, and leopards. First of the 3 big cats is the lion. Lions live in large family member groups called prides. One pride can contain up to 40 lions. Females are the ones to hunt, working in groups, while the males guard the pride's territory, which can stretch up to 100 square miles. Scientists have found that lions with longer and darker manes are healthier than most few. The second cat we'll discuss is the tiger. Tigers are a rather endangered species. As recently as 2003, there were only 5,000 tigers left in the wild. There are twice as many tigers kept in captivity in the United States as there are in the wild. Pet tigers can eat up to 20 pounds of meat in one day, while others prefer 60 pounds of meat in one meal. These are certainly not the easiest house cats to keep. Another odd fact about tigers is both their skin and fur are striped. Tigers can see in the dark 6 times better than humans, and its roar can be heard from a mile away. Oddly, tigers cannot purr, but have been known to imitate calls of other animals to attract them, especially bears. No, 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 bear stink. The third cat we'll discuss is the leopard. Leopards are especially good tree climbers. A leopard can carry prey its own way up a tree. Why would they want to have dinner in a tree? So none of the other carnivores steal their prey. Leopards are nocturnal predators and can hunt on land and water. Stalking bites. They paralyze their victim with a bite to the back of its neck and strangle its victim with its powerful jaws. Even though leopards are the smaller than big cats, they have massive strength in their side. A large adult leopard is capable of killing an eland 10 times the leopard's weight. I hope you enjoyed learning fun and interesting facts about 3 big cats. Thank you.
Great. Here I am again giving my Tropicana speech. This is the time of the year that I hate the most, and I know most of you dread this time too. Why do we have to do this terrible speech anyway? I mean, come on. It piles on so much work for us, especially when we have FCAT. I can't believe they would do that to us. How can we juggle 2 very important dates? For this kind of thing, you need to choose one of them. What I would choose, and I hope you would too, is definitely FCAT. Tropicana speeches doesn't move you to the next grade, now does it? Bye-bye, Tropicana speech. Now, I know why it's important to have Tropicana speeches, to build self-confidence. But does it? Does it really? The only thing Tropicana speeches are capable of is the ability of almost scaring the pee out of kids. And that kids leave with the feeling of terror of the thought of having to do this all again next year. Now, let's talk about another problem Tropicana speech causes. It also puts way too much pressure on us kids to complete the troubling task. I mean, my class just started working on this April 2nd. Most class started 1 or 2 weeks ago. Not only do we have to write a 2 to 3 minute speech, but we also have to memorize it. Who could do that in the time given? Seriously. But don't just think about us kids suffering. Think about the poor teachers. They not only have to teach FCAT lessons, but conduct the Tropicana speech in between. It's like it never ends. Tropicana speeches just keep on hurting more and more people. It should just be gone for good. When you think of Tropicana, you think of a sweet little orange juice company. But now, since Tropicana is sponsoring the Tropicana speeches, I'm having second thoughts about buying their orange juice. Whoever came up with Tropicana speeches had a bad idea. All it does is give kids more work to do, let alone FCAT. It doesn't hardly build self-confidence. Teachers have so much to do with so little time. Let me get something straight. When I go to 6th grade and Tropicana's speech isn't gone, I'm going to be so furious and disappointed because I just wrote this whole speech for nothing. And if that's the case, I'll be doing another speech again next year. Can't wait.
Crack, crack, chirp, chirp, the sounds of baby chicks hatching. Recently, I was able to experience the whole thing, from start to finish. How, you ask? That's simple, and I'm going to explain how the whole process works. Now, first things first, you need to get an incubator. An incubator is a square styrofoam box with a heating coil and a thermometer inside. When you heat your incubator, you will want to plug it in and make sure it reaches the right temperature, which is 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperature is very important, so your fertile eggs will hatch. Time to get your very own fertile eggs, but you don't know where to get them at. You can either order them online or get them from a local farmer. I got mine from a farmer who raises chickens. He gave me 29 fertile chicken eggs. My incubator at home has an automatic tuner. If you don't have an automatic tuner, you will want to mark each side of your eggs with 2 symbols. Now you can see which ways you've turned them. Your eggs are now nice and cozy in their warm incubator, which they will stay in for the next 21 days. That's right, you'll have baby chicks in 21 days. During those 21 days, you probably want to see how much your baby chicks have already developed. Right? Here's a way to see the baby chicks inside their eggs. With the help of an adult, find or buy a box, then make an egg-sized hole in it. Then put a flashlight into the box. Carefully take one of the fertile eggs and put it up to the hole. You must be in a dark room and have the flashlight on for this to work properly. You'll be able to see the baby chick moving around its egg, and if you listen really closely, you can even hear it chirping. You must put water into the incubator so that the eggs will not dry out. It's already been 21 days. I'm anxiously waiting for the first sign of baby chicks hatching. There it is, the first crack. Just when I think I can't wait any longer, Red. Crack, crack, crack. The baby chick has freed itself from its shell. All your waiting has finally paid off. Your baby chicks have hatched. What an experience it was to see baby chicks hatch.
Have you ever tried to ask your teenage brother or sister a very important question? They were too busy texting on their phones. Conversations. What are those? Technology, it's great. It's fast. It's useful, but I'm worried soon we won't know how to talk to each other. FaceTime has received a whole new meaning. FaceTime was sitting down with others, playing a board game, or talking to each other. FaceTime now is having a virtual conversation on your mobile device. Many people rely on their phone for everything, from how to properly crack an egg to learning how to ride a horse. You may not know, but you may be using technology more than you think. The average person spends 6 hours on technology every single day, which equals to about half the time you're awake, just spent on technology. What do you think a person could go 3 days without phone? Well, let me tell you, my brother lost his phone, and it was as if we took food away from him for 3 days. As my grandfather could tell you, he didn't have cell phones when he was little, but he lives to tell about it. He always says, I'm sure glad I grew up when I did. Technology plays a key role in the 21st century. Whether you're at work, school, or even at home, you probably use a cell phone or computer every day. Technology used in the wrong way can have a big, disconnected impact on people like us.
Cell phones and computers change the way people socialize in today's interaction. Did you know the USA is one of the countries with the most computer users? So what is the cause of this? Boredom, not wanting to talk to each other? Do you use cell phone apps because your favorite celebrities do? So the next time you have the chance to not use technology and be able to have a conversation, take it. So is technology helping or hurting us? My personal opinion is that in many cases, technology is hurting us because of its downfall and its lack of our personal communication. So what do you think? Is technology helping or hurting? Hashtag you decide.
Hi. I know poetry may not be for everyone, but it is for me. Poetry means more than just writing down some words on a page. It's a way to express your dreams, or sometimes nightmares. For me, it's finding words to let feelings come out. Sometimes when I don't know what I'm feeling, I just get a pencil and start writing. It helps me figure me out. I got into poetry by accident. One night when I was younger, my dad and I were on my bed reading. He turned to me and said, "Do you want to make a poem?" I said, "Sure, why not?" I don't remember everything about that poem. Remember it is about time, how time goes on, and the changes it brings. I began talking about dinosaurs and ending up with microwaves, so there was a lot of time involved. Who knew I would end up loving this pastime? So I wrote this poem, and it was one of the best things I ever did. Now I'm a little older, but still very much into poetry. I'd like to share my most recent poem called Nature. Wind calls my name. Grass waves to me. The trees stand proudly. Sky stares at me as if it's alive, and it is, with color from bright red to dark violet. As I look outside, I think of the universe. The moon shines more brightly than ever. The clouds make pictures from a drawing. Nature, nature, I call your name. The sun sparkles like a gem. All of the trees are evergreen. Nature, nature, nature. I hope you enjoyed my poem as much as I enjoyed creating it. Poetry is one of my favorite hobbies. I don't practice every day, but when I do, I make it worth my time. My favorite place to write poetry is right by my fence, next to my dog, Blue. I like to sit here in the quiet. Quiet makes a good poem. I'm no William Shakespeare, but give me a quiet fence, and I'll write you a pretty good poem.
Imagine you're at a college game. As the game is about to begin, the referee yells, "Brooms up!" The athletes begin running around with broomsticks between their legs. One player is carrying a ball, trying to score by getting it through a hoop at the other end of the field. The players on the other team are throwing balls and trying to tackle the player who is trying to score. You might think this game sounds weird. Well, it is. I'm describing a real college sport based on a fantasy game called Quidditch. I can tell you where Quidditch came from and the differences between fantasy Quidditch and the game of Quidditch that's played on college campuses. Quidditch was created by the amazing author, J.K. Rowling, who wrote that little series about the boy named Harry Potter. Quidditch was the national sport of the wizarding world, and everybody was a fan. Quidditch is played with many interesting things. You have the quaffle, the bludger, the snitch. Let me explain. First of all, the game is played in the air and all the players are flying on broomsticks. Players called chasers try to move the quaffle toward 3 rings at the end of the pitch to score. The bludgers are hard iron balls with a mind of their own that attack the player nearest to them. It's the beater's job to keep the bludgers away from their teammates. The golden snitch is the most important object on the Quidditch pitch. It's a tiny flying ball with wings, and it's the seeker's job to catch it. When the snitch is caught, the game ends, and the team who catches it earns 150 points. That's usually the team that wins the game. Still confused? That's okay. Harry Potter was too. The college sport, known as a bit differently. The most obvious difference is that the players don't fly. The quaffle and bludgers are replaced with soccer balls and volleyballs. The golden snitch and mumble Quidditch is a human dressed all in yellow with a tennis ball stuffed in a sock which is tucked into the back of his shorts. Okay, I'll admit, that is pretty weird. Whether you're watching fantasy Quidditch in a Harry Potter movie or playing Muggle Quidditch at Florida State University, you'll see that it's a fun and unique game. Now that you know all about Quidditch, it's weird? Of course you do. Lights, camera, action. I was meant for the stage. Stage fright? That's not an option. Acting is a creative pastime activity. If you like being the center of attention, you're in luck. I enjoy acting because it's like escaping to a new world where you get to be what you want to be whenever the curtain opens. Like a daring time traveler or a fire-breathing dragon. Maybe even Yoda, judging by my size, do you? Don't get me wrong, my life is great, but still, just imagine the possibilities. When you take your final bows, you look around, everyone next to you is laughing or smiling, you think, man, I could get used to this. That brings me to one of my favorite parts of a show, the stage makeup. Even boys wear blush and a natural colored lipstick. Funny, right? It takes a lot to transform some characters, like Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. He spends hours in the makeup chair. Aside from that, your facial expressions and vocal tones should tell a story by themselves. If you're acting in a tragedy, you probably should not speak like this. If you're acting in a comedy, speaking like this would not match the mood. Emotion has to match too. It would be weird for someone to walk up to you and say a sentence where the emotions and tones don't match. For example, my puppy just got ran over. See how your emotions and tones make a huge difference? Speaking of emotions, it's natural to be nervous before going on stage. Everyone is a little scared. Even the pros get butterflies in their stomachs. Let me tell you a secret to trick away stage fright. If you stare at the back wall through the audience, no one will ever know. Acting is an activity where you get to express yourself. I just happen to enjoy acting so much. I want to see my name up in lights. Landry Howard. Oh wait, that's my cue. See you on stage.
Do superheroes exist? I've always wondered that. Obviously, there's no Captain America bearing his shield or the amazing Spider-Man swinging from building to building in New York City. But what about the heroes within ourselves? The ones we keep combining till the time is right. Those are the strongest ones, and some of them have even shown themselves in the public, such as the Boston bombings. 4 lives were lost that day, but the 4 people that died fighting to save their family and friends. Some people force it on, some people, it just comes natural. It's up to you. Some people think that making a difference is hard, but making a difference makes a difference. So get out there and be your own hero. You're greater than any Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, or the Hulk. Well, I don't know about that one, but I guess you can try. You can accomplish anything. Does anybody ever think of doctors, police force, firefighters, military? I mean, seriously, even actors and actresses are superheroes. What would we do without those amazing movies like Thor or Tinkerbell, or the awesome TV shows such as Sanjay and Craig, SpongeBob, or anything you kids nowadays watch? I definitely could not live without them. Who could? Those are people that really put themselves out there. I, on the other hand, really depend on them. Oh, and don't forget about me or anyone else in the room. One of a kind, standing in the crowd, first in line, all around superstar. That's you. So show it. Don't be afraid. Would you put your life on the line like they do? Would you risk your life for your family and friends? I guess that's something you're going to have to figure out when you become the world's greatest superhero. And when I mean getting out there and being your own hero, I don't mean walking around saying, I'm cooler than you, I'm cooler than you. Because guess what? That is not cool. I mean getting out there and being proud of yourself, but thankful of others. I believe everybody needs their first thrill. So shoot for the stars, and if you land on the moon or any other planet, always believe in yourself, because anybody can become the world's greatest superhero. Don't you dare do it. I'm watching you. Don't even think about it. Now you're probably saying, but I didn't do anything. Oh yes you did. Oh yes you did. You were about to give up. Now, I don't want you to give up, and here are some reasons why you shouldn't. My first reason why you should never give up is because you have to accomplish what you want. I mean, think about it. Say you want to be a professional baseball player, and you lose 3 games in a row. Don't just quit. Sure, things might get in the way, but you have to overcome it. Raise your hand if you have a dream. Hands, people, let me see some hands. Things will get in your way. Now raise your hand if you will overcome it. Come on. Good. My second reason why you should never give up is because you have to keep trying. Let's go back to the professional baseball player idea. Let's say you have no idea how to play, and you want to play so bad. Are you just going to sit there, or are you going to do something about it? You would have to keep trying and practicing. Ever heard the saying, practice makes perfect? Well, keep practicing, my friend. I want you to remember, and my third reason why you should never give up is because success feels great. I want you to remember a time when you accomplished something great, or even something little. Remember how good you felt? Felt great, right? Always remember that good feeling. Now imagine how good you would feel if you accomplished your lifelong dream. That would feel better than amazing. Plus your family and friends would be so proud of you. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want that? And as long as you believe you can do it, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, as long as you believe. I hope you all listen to what I had said today, because it will really help you out a lot in life. And remember, anything is possible. Oh yeah, I also want you to remember I'm watching you. So go after your dreams. And that is my speech on why you should never give up. Grounded up pork butt, turkey in a hole, sweet sticky goodness. Most families do plain, boring, same old family traditions, like pancakes on Christmas morning, or a turkey in the oven for Thanksgiving, or even baking cookies. But not my family. We like to do our family traditions a little bit different. Like Christmas Eve, take grounded up pork butt. We boil it in a really big pot. We add seasonings and let it cook for a couple of hours. While that's cooking, we try to make cookies, but my pappy and I always get into a flower fight. Then we move to the dining room to make our gingerbread house, and out comes Nana with the CD. No matter how hard we try to hide it, she finds it every time and plays Percy the puny poinsettia. Finally, the gut tones are ready to be put in the fridge for the night. Christmas morning, we put it on toast and eat it as a spread. It's a fridge recipe. Now for Thanksgiving, the day before, we burn a fire underground all day.
to this trough that led to a big pot, where we were cooking the sugarcane syrup. Before the juice got to the pot, my aunt was standing there with a cheese sack and collecting a coal. The juice would just pass through. I had a sip of the sugarcane syrup, and I got to chew on some sugarcane. It was very, very good. My granddaddy told me some fun facts about sugarcane. Did you know sugarcane roots and stems are used to treat skin infections? Sugarcane is also used as hair removal products, skin exfoliators, and soap. I have shared with you some of my favorite family traditions, some things that I have learned, and some things I love most. God, my family, and really good food.
One day I was walking along, minding my own business, and then bam! A howl in my ear. It was a teacher saying I had to wear long pants on a certain day. After that, I was wondering about crazy school rules around the world, and I have 4 that will blow you away. The first crazy rule is you are not allowed to bring lions to school. Okay, well that's acceptable. So does that mean you're allowed to bring elephants and tigers to school? Maybe if you lived in India where elephants are sacred, you could ride an elephant to school. That's pretty weird. The next crazy rule I found is you are not allowed to say the word meat. M-E-E-P, meat. Okay, how many times a day do you say meat? I know I don't say a lot. In fact, I've never said the word meat. What does it even mean? My best guess would be meat stands for my educated elephant pooped. Oops, maybe not. There are many dietary rules. For instance, no eating grilled cheese sandwiches. My favorite meal that I ask for every year on my birthday is a grilled cheese sandwich, and taking that away from me would be just unheard of. I mean, what's worse, a slice of cheese between 2 pieces of bread, or a piece of pizza dripping with melted cheese? I know both aren't the healthiest of all foods, but the grilled cheese is less messy for class and lunchtime. Many schools have now banned dancing because kids are showing off too much. This ban includes the hokey pokey and the chicken dance. What's wrong with the chicken dance? I kind of like them. I've been dancing the chicken dance since I was wearing diapers. My mom and I dance around the living room all the time. The only part of this dancing that should be banned is my mom's embarrassing dance moves. All this information is useless unless I tell you that my school's rules rock, because I could get out of school where you can't bring lines to class, say meat, eat grilled cheese sandwiches, or dance. Those rules are just plain crazy.
My feet hurt. Ew, chicken on a sandwich? No, thank you. I am so not in the mood to go outside today. Does that sound like someone you would call your best friend? That's mine, and she is constantly complaining every day. From this water tastes weird to this is way too much writing for an 11-year-old. That's Destiny, the girl who's always there for me, even if she's complaining about it. About 4 months ago, Destiny would not hush. It was my hands sticky from the Coke you spilled. Then it was, if I have to read another book, I will explode. She bickered all day. She says, my hair's too short, my eyes are too brown, I am not using that ball, it's not fully blown up. Finally, 3:30, the end of the school day, and I would get a night's rest from Destiny. But no, I forgot. Destiny rides my bus. I'm toast. I take my seat 18, and here comes Destiny. As she sat, I was pretty confident she may be worn down and not want to talk, but boy did I speak too soon. She says, this bus needs a little help. Yellow is so overrated. Then she says, look at these seats. All of them are ripped. She didn't stop there. She says, look at these seatbelts. They're faded. After that, I got my iPad out, thinking she may hush, but she played a game. She chose Temple Run. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. She starts and gets pretty far, but then she misses a jump over a limb, and the screen pulls up mockingly. Game over. She was livid. Her face got as red as a tomato. I could see smoke coming out of her ears. But then came the real problem. She says, why make a game if you can't win? I mean, really. She starts singing out loud, and by the second verse, she is yelling at the top of her lungs. Finally, the song ended, but she has one more thing to say. She says, "Why is that song so hard to memorize? My head hurts." All that I could remember thinking was, yeah, my head hurts too. Now, 4:15, time for Destiny to shoot. She grabs her things, and now I'm free. Destiny is a non-stop complainer, but she's like a sister to me, and I wouldn't trade her for the world.
Man, do I love sports. Any kind of sport will do, but these are my three favorites. Team sports, solo sports, and extreme sports. Now huddle up and let's get started. Team sports use your strengths and support your weaknesses. My all-time favorite sport is soccer. There is nothing like how you feel when that ball blasts into the net. It is only made better by the fact that the goalie has been completely defeated. What could be more fun than that? Basketball. It is a very challenging and fairly new sport for me. I hope to get better and taller. What about something to play every day at recess? Kickball is the answer. The whole class can play and have a great time. Sometimes you don't want to play on a team. That is why some brilliant person came up with solo sports. For 4 years I asked Santa for a javelin before I finally got one. I can throw over 60 feet now. Watch out, Olympics, here I come. What? Any kind of running gives a feeling of freedom. And don't forget swimming. Swimming can be more than just cooling off, it can be a race. My favorite is the backstroke. These are all great sports you can do on your own. The last kind of sports I love are extreme sports. One example of extreme sports is a triathlon. This sport includes swimming, biking, and running. So far, I've only raced in one triathlon for kids, but this summer, I plan on at least 2 more. Then, there's rollerblading. This was another request to Santa that paid off. I was excited when I got my rollerblades, but it was pretty hard for me to start. A couple weeks later, I got the hang of it, and now I can do all kinds of tricks. Hang on, I saved my favorite extreme sport for last. Whitewater rafting. This sport is mind-blowing, especially when you shoot off a huge rock and almost fly out of your raft. Thank goodness there are smooth spots in the river. That way, you can catch your breath before another 20 seconds of terror. To me, extreme sports are sometimes dangerous, but extremely fun. So now you know why half of my life is devoted to all different types of sports. These sports include team sports, solo sports, and extreme sports. Now put down those video games and let's get moving.
That concludes our speeches for Tropicana 4th and 5th grade. I hope you all enjoyed